Hello and welcome to another episode of Alternate Future of Adizzpro's WICSO. In the last episode, we saw a lot of stuff happen, so why don't we just get right into it? The first thing we can take a look at is a peace treaty in Russia ending their civil war. So let's see what that peace treaty looks like. Wow, that took a lot longer than I thought it would, but anyway, it is done. And this is the peace treaty that is worked out. As we can see, a lot of countries gain independence. There's a new country right here. Very skinny. It'll probably get eaten up very quickly. We also see the monarchy kind of did split into two. They are both still monarchies, though, and the rest are just democracies. And none of them join alliances or economic alliances, so yeah. We come down to Africa, where something very big is happening, as South Africa has pretty much had enough, and slowly are plotting. And they're plotting with this new union. And eventually, when the time comes, this big jumble mess that Tanzania has created will all unite. And with these two unions uniting, they declare war on Tanzania. We see the unions having the upper hand at the start because they really did catch Tanzania off guard, especially South Africa. And they know they need to do this quick because Tanzania is only going to fight back harder the more that they are invaded and the just more violent this war gets. And their little Angolan puppet thing, I guess it's not really like fully their puppet, but it's pretty much they are on Tanzania's side, and that is where both unions will kind of go over to, as their main goal is to take this out first, and then kind of more focused on Tanzania, but little advancements elsewhere are still made, and especially in Ethiopia too. And like I said, both countries go into Tanzania's Angola puppet thing, and the capital is captured, and very quickly this country is just going to fall because not even their people support them. I mean, in all actuality, they are really just Tanzania's puppet, and from here, the unions will enter out into Tanzania a little bit, but Tanzania is furious, and they are going to, of course, fight back, and they mainly fight back against this big blue union over here first. I think both unions are probably equally as strong. Maybe I'm wrong, but Tanzania will enter into this one and push them out of Tanzanian territory almost fully, just in these more northern areas, and they will begin to flood right towards their capital as the fighting will continue, but more countries will begin to join this war, such as the African Union, which will also join with the help of Libya. And that already opens up another front, but now that causes Egypt and Sudan to join in this war as well. And this little country over here is just surrounded by war. They have no idea what to do. And following this, we also see the joining of the war on the side of Tanzania, the orange country over here. And yeah, that's where this war is at right now. Egypt will push back Libya severely, as Libya is still not that strong, and Egypt is pretty strong, and Libya alone, they just don't have the defenses to hold up against Egypt, but the African Union will quickly send help over, but this union they weren't ready for it, but they can very quickly re-coordinate their troops to go up here and fight in the deserts of Libya, which I don't know why they'd want to do, but I guess they just want to gain ground. Anyway, though, they will take out most of southern Libya, and that will be a help for, just them, I guess. We now see, though, that this little brown country will join the war on the side of the Unions, I guess the anti-Tanzanian side, and we also see that this brown country over here will join on that side as well, but the yellow Sahara country will join on Tanzania's side, and this will bring almost all of Africa into the war, other than Madagascar, but I think they're gonna stay pretty silent. We see as fighting continues all throughout Africa, Tanzania begins to just ramp up their invasions. They kick the Southern Union all the way out of their territory, which is very, very bad. And this puppet over here is taken control by this blue union, but probably not for long. And it's not a big time gap before Tanzania starts to rapidly invade this southern union. And they have a lot of success as their troops are just running right through and destroying just the country, and it's horrible what they're doing here, and they are just having too much success, and they're ramping up their military too much, they're spending too much, their economy is dropping, but they're still continuing to do it, and they're doing it over here in the Blue Union too, and they're still just advancing just as quickly. And yeah, it's just they're doing horrible things in these occupied areas. Much similar to what Gold Ethiopia was doing centuries ago. Or maybe not centuries, but decades ago. Tanzania's Angolan puppet will quickly be liberated, and Tanzania will continue their advances as they push this Blue Union all the way out of their territory. And looking at their map now, it is very, very large, and they take up a good portion of Africa. And looking over here, this brown country is actually going to have some success, and they actually lead a full-on Ethiopian rebellion, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, Ethiopia they don't want to be under Tanzanian rule, and they will rebel, and it will be actually pretty successful, at least at first, and they will connect up and even trap some Tanzanian forces who will be wiped out. Over here, though, this orange country will just storm through this brown one, and they will just pretty much completely invade the country, and it will probably surrender very quickly as they realize they shouldn't have joined this war. Libya will begin to be rapidly liberated from both the Blue Union and Egypt, and once they get to the Egyptian border, they will send basically an ultimatum over to Egypt and Sudan both, telling them that if they don't leave the war, they will have severe consequences, and they will be split up, their governments will be disposed of, and their countries will no longer exist. And they are going to take this and leave the war, because it is also promised that if they leave the war now, there will be no consequences for even joining the war in the first place. We now see Tanzania begin to actually pull more and more troops out of this Blue Union, and as well as Ethiopia, leading to them having a lot of success. And that is because down here, this Yellow Union is dying, and Tanzania has put all those troops right here and taken out this union, and they are now heading north right back to the front lines, where, they will pretty much instantly wipe out this blue country. And after those soldiers arrive, this blue union will be invaded on two fronts. One on this orange country, and the other, of course, by Tanzania. And both countries will have great success as the capital of this blue union is endangered on both sides. And with help from the African Union and I guess maybe more of the Mediterranean Empire and the Sahara Union, they are able to have great success. Oh, and Libya. And so this is a joint occupation. But Tanzania is just, once again, they are too powerful, and now will rule most of Africa, as the capital will be captured, and Tanzania will unfortunately burn it to the ground and leave no trace behind. They tear the entire city down, and it no longer exists. This brown country will now leave the war and leave remaining troops of rebellions to fend for themselves, and they actually do pretty good. Tanzania will respect that the brown country left the war, and I guess I should color these a different color because it's really not them. And yeah, these rebellious troops do a good job at surviving and taking out a large portion of the Tanzanian military. I was gonna say they are probably using guerrilla warfare tactics, but I don't know if that would be like outdated. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of technology they have here. But eventually all good things must come to an end, and this rebellion will be wiped out, and we can take a look at a very big peace treaty involving almost all of Africa. Tanzania will gain a lot of land from both of these unions, all of this. We see, as for other gains, we see this yellow Saharan Union gain these two chunks of land, and this orange country will gain these two chunks, and Libya will gain almost nothing, but yeah. And that is for that part of the peace treaty. And we see that this Northern Union is divided very, very, very heavily, and it is very divided, but it is nothing compared to the Southern one. And Tanzania has done this to ensure that these two former unions could never do anything again. And in fact, Tanzania bans pretty much anything from happening here without their consent, such as unification, justification of war, yeah, just anything. And yeah, so that is quite a big change for Africa. Also, if you're wondering why India didn't join that war, because Tanzania and India are in a military alliance, well, India was supplying them still, like they always are, but they didn't feel a need to get involved because they knew Tanzania had it, especially with, as soon as other countries started joining. But yeah. we see the Dutch go crazy on militarization as they immediately enter into their ally and began to fight as they officially declare war, capturing their capital and within a very short amount of time already wiping them out, which is followed by another ally of theirs being wiped out in the same way. And soon enough, southern Iberia, or I think some people call it Andalusia or Andalusia. But either way, this country, the Dark Sign country, as Adizzpro called it, will be wiped out as well. And the Dutch are showing no mercy as they're wiping out their own allies. And we see this is what happens to those three countries as they all get split up. Well, this one doesn't get split up, but two of them lose some land, two of them get split up, and all of them turn into puppets. And I had a new layer to kind of show that. I probably won't leave it on all the time, but it just makes a checkerboard pattern on the countries that are puppets of the Dutch. I don't know why my brain was a little slow there, but anyway, yeah. We now see the Australian Union expand to include this southern Papua New Guinea country. Also, as for this southern Spanish colony over here that was colonized by southern Spain, that will just be given over to the Dutch in the peace treaty. And yeah, I know these are some shorter videos, but things are taking more time, and yeah, so I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.